And like there's you'll see people inside these things sometimes like doing their own thing. There's so many NPCs too, and it runs really well. So yeah, visually, game is absolutely amazing, especially, like when you're like hacking stuff, or like when Johnny would be like bleeding in and stuff like that, or you're going into like you're going into the net or the black wall, like all that stuff, like absolutely crazy. Look, there's a giant holographic fish over there. So yeah, and the visuals stunning. Audio also great. Audio was really good. I didn't have to like play with the audio levels. It stayed steady. Everybody was talking clearly. The music was amazing. I added some songs from this game to my playlist. The fact that you could, go here and then like there's different stations. Like I tried a bunch of the stations out, found some that I liked. So that was pretty cool. The audio was really good. Gameplay was pretty good. And I say it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Like, I would say, as I'm thinking, like melee was fine. You had some different melee attacks. You had parrying. You had blocking. You had your normal strikes. Shooting is just shooting. But there was a lot of cool stuff there, like power weapons and smart weapons and iconic weapons and tech weapons and stuff like that. And they had their own skill trees and things like that. So that kind of combat was cool. Hacking was really neat. One thing that I would have loved is when I was in a race, and sometimes I could self-destruct an enemy car, and sometimes I could not. But the times I couldn't, it wouldn't tell me why. I've finished the game. I still don't know why. Like, I'd go self-destruct, and it would go do. Nothing would happen. And I'm like, okay, maybe he had an ice, and it just blocked it. So it's on cooldown now. And I'd be like, overclock, self-destruct again. Nothing would happen. Again, nothing would happen. And it would never tell me why it wasn't working. So I have, there was some moments where the gameplay could have been better. But overall, it was quite good. Being able to like ping enemies through a wall and hack machines to mess with enemies. Like even on the final major fight versus Atom Smasher, I was able to hack turrets and make the turrets help me for a few seconds before he would kill them. But the gameplay was very good. The gameplay was good enough that I did so much side content. This was a game I didn't even think I was going to love, but I liked it enough that I did tons of side content before going for the finish because I wanted to stretch it out more because I was having so much fun. Bugs. There was a few, and unfortunately, most of the bugs I had happened at really major moments, which was really disappointing. So, for example, there was the boxing thing where you'd go around and you fight guys with your fists. The finale of that, there was like chairs in the corner for the end of a boxing round where you go and sit in the chair. But the chairs stayed there, and my opponent stood up on it like he was here, and he walked up on a chair and then walked out, and he was flying now. And then he didn't try to hit me anymore because I'm still down here, and he's like right here with his balls like right in front of me. And so I was just like, okay. So then I just punched his balls like a speed bag for 6 minutes until he died. And that was the finale of the punching quest. And then Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher, I don't know if that was design or a bug, but let's just say it was a design. So on the Atom Smasher fight, I guess I hit a weak point. I don't know. Or maybe Wayland did. Or maybe one of the turrets I hacked did. I don't know. But he suddenly went... it took forever to go from 80 to 70. And then he went from 70 to 40 instantly. And then he summons ads into the room. And while I was dealing with the ads, he died. He went from 40 to 0 at some point, and I have no idea from what. Wayland shouldn't have been invulnerable for that fight. He would occasionally get knocked, he would take a lot of damage and get knocked out, and then he'd just get back up. And that happened on both my attempts, so I think that's by design. He just kept getting up. He ruined that fight. I don't know if he was the one who did all that damage, or if, one of the turrets did, or if, I did Cyber Psycho a sniper, but I didn't think it had gotten a shot off. I'm not sure. But the fact that the final fight of the game, which, I saw Atom Smasher in the anime, I knew how strong he was. People hyped him up. I was on the maximum difficulty. And the fact that it took me forever to go from 80 to 70 and then he just went and died, I was like, wow, that's disappointing. So, yeah, for a game where you don't have a companion, because like Skyrim, you can go around with a companion and other games like that, but then this game gives you an invulnerable non-stop shooting companion for the final fight. It was very disappointing. Like, I very much enjoyed this game. I will recommend this game to other people. I will tell them I had a good time. I will also tell them I was extremely disappointed by the final battle. Don't look forward to it. That is something else I'm going to add to that. You died a couple times. You're right. I did. But it was just like, I died a few times, and then on the next attempt, he went, and it was over. I mean, I was reminded of like that buggy fight we had in the Star Wars The Last Jedi game where the boss was just teleporting all over the room during the cutscene. Like, it was just, I was like, if this was by design, this is insane. If this is a bug, this is also ridiculous. Let's see. I found the final battle was fun. Also the fact that he was basically using the Sandevistion like every single second, where in the anime it had a cooldown, and on a player in the game it has a cooldown, but on him he could do it every single second. That was pretty annoying. I was just having to spam dash the whole team, but again, it was just... this is the reworked Smasher. He was easier before 2.0. Yeah, I mean, he was very strong. I mean, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying the fact that what happened to me was possible was stupid. That's it. What did you think of the characters? Depends on the character. It depends. Okay, like, I think that most of them were quite well written. There was, let me think of some examples. Okay, Jackie. Jackie was capable. He was all about family and stuff like that, but he was also kind of young. Like, he had that youthful, like, oh, I want to be a star, I want to be a celebrity energy, and it made him do some stupid stuff from time to time, and you're trying to keep him in check. Like, that's a personality. That's a decently written personality. You had Misty that was, she was all about like horoscopes and stuff like that. But at the same time, when Vic yelled for help, she was like, okay, I need to help. She was helping with like medical stuff. Like, she knew when to focus on reality. That was a decent character. Vic was I felt like he was the dad, Dude, like, when I saw Vic show up to my boxing match, I couldn't help but grin from ear to ear. Vic was freaking fantastic. Rivers, the good cop who's basically in a city where everyone's a bad cop, he seemed decently well written. Carrie was an annoying twat, but I think he was written in a way that he was supposed to be an annoying twat, so they nailed it. Pan Am. Pan Am, I would say, honestly, I have... Of all the characters, if I'm thinking like, okay, which character do I have the worst opinion of? Pan Am is possibly it. And the reason is like, okay, like everybody's like, oh my god, I love Pan Am. It's like, yes, she's hot, okay? She's a curvy lady. She is hot. But she behaves the same through the whole story. And yet people around her react differently to it. Like, she behaves like a entitled brat. She calls you for help, demands you come help her repeatedly, like Yennefer from Witcher. And that behavior of hers got her in trouble, got her kicked out of the family, and then continuing the same behavior gets her back in the family, and then continuing the same behavior gets her promoted to head of the family. She never grows as a person. Ever. I really did not care for her. I did her quests and stuff. Also, now, there was not many moments like this. Do you guys remember that one quest I did for her where she goes, this is our plan? And I said, that's stupid, I'm not helping. And she goes, fine. And I expected it to say quest failed, but it said, meet them at the train tracks. And I was like, okay, they're going to finish this job without me, and I'm going to meet them there. Maybe some of them died, and I'm going to see the aftermath. I go to the train tracks, and then it just continued on as if I had signed up to do the job in the first place. It was a forced quest. I only saw that once in the whole game. But it's like, I told them no, and it railroaded me back on to the quest line. So I would love to see them change that, because that seemed like an oversight. Because in every other part of the game, if I said no, that was the end of it. It just stopped. But it forced me back onto the train of helping her, and I was just like, this is stupid. Um, Judy. How was Judy? Judy was fine. I mean, she kind of she was written like someone that was, had a very stressful life, and she showed it. She had her friend that you tried to save, and her friend was so messed up she shot herself. And then Judy's hometown was destroyed in a flood when they made a dam, so most of her childhood was gone. And it was just like it was like one thing after another with her. And then like you help her out with some stuff. The biggest thing I hated about Judy is when you like she asks you, come to the dam. Okay, get in the scuba gear. Why? Just do it. Okay, come underwater. Why? Just do it. Okay, come down here. I'm going to show you my memories. Why? Just do it. Okay. She kind of like was doing the Yennefer Pan Am thing for a bit there, and I was like, fine, and I just kept doing anything Julia said or Judy said, and then it gets to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm dying, and she's like, oh shit, that's crazy, I gotta go, and she leaves town. At that point, I was like, wow, you are the worst of friends. Thanks for nothing. I had done all of these quests for her, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm dying, I need help, and she's like, wow, I'm an expert hacker, bye, and then she just dipped out. Like, that is the moment she left town, was right after you had finished doing so many favors for her, and you tell her you need help, and she dips. That's the biggest problem I have with Judy. So yeah, Pan Am the whole time. Carrie was written to be annoying, and he was annoying. River, seemed like a good person, and then my main issue with Judy, that was weird. If you're a girl, she stays with you. Well, I guess I should have gotten more implants. um, let's see, what else? Someone said like most of the characters. Johnny. Oh, you know what? I got one beef with Johnny. I got a problem with Johnny. In the trailers, there's a moment where there's an explosion that happens and you get knocked on your butt. And he comes over and he's like, wake up, samurai. We got a city to burn. That never happened in the game. I was looking forward to that. It never fucking happened. So, that's my beef with Johnny. He never said the line. He never said the thing. Okay, I was looking forward to that. I thought it would be some big climactic moment. I'm 72 hours in. I finished the game. It never happened. False advertising. We never burn the city down. But yeah, exactly. That was the reveal cinematic of Keanu. Yep. You're breathtaking though. Yeah. The references were good. They had the You're Breathtaking reference in the game. Co Carnage, Jesse Cox, Kojima. There was the Edge Runners was in there. Lots of great stuff. The references were cool. There was lots. All the quests being named after songs. I picked up on like half a dozen of them, but I didn't realize all of them were named after songs. It was pretty cool. Talking about gameplay, there was so much like the crafting, and so I probably barely scratched the surface. I loved this. I loved the idea of like, all the crazy upgrades in here. The talent trees were pretty good. I was a fan of that. I loved how they also opened dialogue options. It felt good when you would get a dialogue option. Like when I was chasing Peter Pan for River, and I used my my level 20 max int to what is it, like trace his IP address or something silly, but I used my 20 int to locate the guy, which maybe made the quest go faster. Or when I found, hey buddy, what's up? When I had to find I got the replacement kidney for the guy who got shot, who had sickle cell anemia, and I used my int 20 to check the kidney for problems, and it had a virus. And I'm like, oh, if I hadn't done that, that guy might have died like a week later. So it felt good to achieve, beat skill checks, based on what you had. That was really, 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 really nice, and that actually made me early on get to skill level 9 in reflexes, body, tech, and intelligence, just to be able to pass all those checks and stuff like that, because I liked that. And then I started like maxing out like individual things. How did you feel about the one cat in the game? I think I saw the cat 3 times. One at the beginning, outside of Vix. Once when I was on the quest with Takamura, and once at the very end. And I remember when I met the cat the first time, someone in chat's like, "You can get that cat," and I have no idea how you do that, because that never happened for me. But I guess you can do that at some point. There are a few cats. A recent update added another. You didn't adopt the cat. I have no idea how to adopt a cat. You don't need much in to pass those checks. I remember passing them on low end character. There was an adoptable cat in your apartment building. You could get an iguana too. I remember the iguana. Chip's butt is way up in the air right now. I remember the iguana from the quest at the beginning. I don't know how you could have kept it or whatever. Do you have all cats in a homestead? I have none. I went for nodes and stuff like that. Twice at the very end, pop up on both of the stairs. So sure, characters don't grow. They use and dump you. They're like many real people. Yeah, well, I mean, there were some characters that did. Like River, you know, he's ready to go in the hospital and kill the bad guy, even though the bad guy's a vegetable, and you can convince him, no, your family needs you. If you kill that guy, you're gonna get like thrown in jail. But if you focus on your family, you can help them get through this difficult time, and he does. Like, that was cool. That was nice. And characters don't always have to grow if they're already like Vic. Vic didn't change through the story, but everybody loves Vic. Vic was awesome from the beginning. The problem is Pan Am was insufferable at the beginning, and she didn't change during the story. She stayed insufferable. So the issue is when someone is just like an annoying witch, and they don't have character growth. That's when there's a problem. With regard to dialogue checks, if you can't pass the check, it shows the minimum stat required. If you can't pass the check, it instead shows the stat total, keeping the minimum obscured. Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, all right. Still though, it was cool. Reed and Madam President. Reed? I think they were both well written. But Reed was a character that was like patriotic. He was an undercover agent. He hadn't been activated in many years. He'd almost thought they'd forgotten about him, but he had stayed ready to go, and when they called him, he came in. And there was moments he didn't like what he had to do, but he did it. But then when he thought he was going to lose Songbird, someone he had basically gotten her into the job, trained her and stuff like that, then he started like doubting his convictions. And in some of the endings he doubts his convictions, and in some he doesn't. And then the president, when she's on the ground with you, she was like, she wasn't hiding. She got a gun. She was ready to throw hands. She has you carve the tracking chip out of her neck. She was kind of a badass. But then, when she gets back in office, she goes back to like master manipulator, which I kind of feel like you have to be if you're going to be the president. So I feel like she was okay written, Let's see. He was stupid. He was betrayed, sacrificed. Still kept working for the government. Who are the ones who betrayed him in the first place? Do you get a chance to do the crazy quest from telling Gary the Prophet? Gary the Prophet died in the background. At one point, I was talking to Ozab Bozo, the guy with the grenade for a nose, and in the background, some random muggers shot Co Carnage's character, and I was just like, okay, I guess that happens. And then chat told me later on that doesn't always happen. So he just died. Don't forget your compensation from the president. Yeah, 5K. What did you think of Skippy? Skippy was entertaining for like 5 seconds, and then I realized I had heard all of his dialogue options, and they just kept repeating. Like, I think the Erebus had more dialogue options than Skippy. And then also, with Skippy, is I got, like, this gun does way more damage than Skippy does, and they're both smart pistols. So I swapped to this one because its damage was way higher. This is the one that would do bleeding and dismemberment and explosive and smart tracking and all that stuff. So Skippy was really entertaining for a couple seconds, then I was like, oh, I've heard all the voice lines already, and it's already run out of voice lines. So then I stopped worrying about that. But it was cool. Don't forget your compensation from the president. Yeah, the 5,000. Yeah. There's some great stuff you could learn from doing his quest. That does always happen. The game just considered the Co quest active and expected you to stop the nomads hurting Co. Yeah, but I was in the middle of a conversation with Ozob. Like, it was, like, yeah. Thoughts on Rogue? I think Rogue was decent. Like, Rogue was, like, crazy, hot-blooded kid at the beginning. And then she lived for 50 years more and changed a bit. That sounds like life to me, She made some sacrifices. She had to, make accommodations in order to, keep her and, what people that are near her alive that she could, stuff like that. Like, She changed a bit over 50 years. That happens. Monkey playing try different builds. Shotgun build is fun AF. I'm not going to do another playthrough. If they intend to make another DLC, I'll probably load this save up and do that. If you get 50 kills with Skippy, it switches the mode to the opposite of what you chose and would not allow you to reverse it. Let's see. You're right. It's just the rough edges showing. The entire DLC doing a job with the president being worth 13 million euros to better sticks. Why was Carrie your favorite? I did not say that. What ending did he just get? I got the sun. At the end, I was floating toward a space station, and I was about to mug a space station. Thoughts on the Zen monk? Bored me. One of the only yellow quests on the map that I did not finish was the Zen monk. I did how many others? Hold on a sec. I did 162 quests, and I did not finish the Zen monk because it bored me to tears. I did the earth one and the water one, and then I saw this was another one, and I was like, no. So I don't know what happens at the end of the Zen monk quest. Maybe someone's Captain Planet or something. Let's see. Time to adjust the amount to make worth less better. What about another playthrough with too many mods? No, this is why. Okay, let's do conclusion. Awesome game. I would recommend it to other people. The gameplay, the storytelling, the world, the environment, how well the game runs, all were fantastic. It is not 100% bug free, but it is like 99.5% bug free. Will happen on occasion, but when it does happen, it kind of feels like the jankiness of Skyrim. The kind of bugs that are just silly. Like where you see people driving down the road and two of them bump into each other, and then this car freaks out thinking the one behind it is trying to kill it, and it hits the gas and it barrels and destroys like 15 other cars, and you're just like, Jesus. Like, it's kind of that crazy jankiness that you see in Elder Scrolls games, right? It's kind of like, it's got its own charm. It's silly. You don't really hate it, but it is there. Want to close out with a reference to the anime Rebecca's Shotgun? Oh, that's right. So people told me that so my understanding is, Cyberpunk came out, then later the anime came out, but the anime took a lot of stuff from the game directly. Like, the Afterlife bar is in the anime, and it looks exactly the way it does in the game. Some people told me that my my apartment at the end, that I said, oh, this looks similar to David's apartment. People were like, it's the same one. Actually, you guys were super mean about it. You guys were pricks. But people said it's the same apartment. And I was just like, oh, okay, I just thought it looked similar. As far as Rebecca, I have no idea where any references to Rebecca are in the game. I wonder if maybe the spot where she died, if there's still a crater there, because Atom Smasher made a crater there. I don't know if, I know she and her brother had an apartment. I don't know if that's in the game. Nog was kind of rude, yeah. Yeah, friggin' Nog. Arasaka ending is too depressing, I nearly cried. Carrie killed a few people with the car. Catching up on chat. What's next? Back to Cowboy beating up fascists in the rainforest. Indiana Jones. There's a shotgun in Corpo Plaza where she died. You can get Rebecca's shotgun, and her eye color is now in the character creator. We could point you to the shotgun. Her gun is near where she died. Okay, what's the location? Hang on a second. Cyberpunk game, Rebecca's shotgun. Let's see. How to get Rebecca's shotgun. Latest patch of guns, an iconic shotgun that once belonged to Rebecca from the show. Where to find it? Okay, hold on. I think I see a picture of a map. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it's like here. Let's see if I can get there. Hang on a second. Motorcycles are still the best way to get around. I'm inclined to agree because you can go between lanes of traffic. Okay. According to the map, it's somewhere around here. Alright, all players need to do is pick it up, go to Memorial Park. This circular leisure area can be found in the heart of the Corpo Plaza. After making their way to the Arasaka Tower, they should cross the highest level of the park to the area underneath the Militech Tower.
Hey, V! It's Blue Moon from Us Cracks. You know, the band?
You know
Night
the
City
band.
knows you. What's cracking?
I've got a problem.
Call a doctor.
Wait, you mean you're not calling me to ask me to be your backup dancer? Just kidding. What can I do you for?
It's about a fan of mine. The weirder variety. I've been getting death threats. A lot of them. All sent to my private address.
Alright, hold on. I'm trying to figure out what this is. The iconic blue... Let's see. With the iconic blue fish hologram between the player and the Arasaka Tower and the Militech Tower on the opposite side, players can find Rebecca's shotgun under a bush.
I'm also being followed.
Blue
I can't
fish.
just wait around until something bad happens. We have to find him and
There's the blue
deal with
fish.
him. I don't know how much you charge, V, but I'm prepared to pay whatever the cost. Believe me.
Happy to help out.
Oh, Carrie was right. You're like
Okay, where's
super
Arasaka
chill.
Tower?
So, I've got a plan. I'll go for a little stroll by Kabuki Roundabout
Is
while
that
you
it?
hang back. Watch out for any signs of trouble. You catch something suspicious, like you see the guy, and you're 100% sure it's him.
I'll know what to do.
Wait, the
No,
fish
no,
moves
wait.
around.
We're not killing anyone here. That would be bad for the band's, like, PR and stuff. All we want to do is teach him a lesson.
All right, whatever. You make the rules.
Awesome! So, just go to Kabuki, sit on the bench, and wait for me. I'll come to you.
Yeah, it says with the hologram, blue fish hologram between you and the tower, but the fish hologram moves around. Hang on. It's on the top level. It is on the top level. It's under one of the overpass ramps on the top level. Yeah, the picture I'm looking at looks like it's under one of these things. Yellow on ground. Wait, what? Oh, there's the guts. Let the lead fly. Shoot faster, deal more damage, accuracy be damned. Just don't shoot your eye out. 20 number of projectiles. You can kill fall damage? Wait, what? No, you can't. That hurt. I still take damage. Okay. Let's see. I was just looking to see what else is on here. Max attack time. I was looking for a picture of Rebecca.